Welcome to Friday Night Comics. It's Friday night where I am. I think it's Friday night where Andrew is, but maybe it's Saturday morning where you are. It's almost spring here, but maybe it's almost fall where you are. There's lots of temporal opportunities right now. This is the We Believe in Comics Friday night workshop at the Sequential Artists Workshop. We are a 501c3 nonprofit school with online courses, which you can find at sawcomics.org. For instance, we have Matt Madden's course starting tomorrow, Build Your Own Labyrinth. It's 6 weeks long, and it is using constraints to create comics and find story ideas. And next week in this slot on Friday night, we have Grover Tunes, Mike Grover, doing something called Exploring the Deep. At the end of April, we have Ramena Yee doing her 5-week course called Comics Layouts again, and that's starting in late April, and that is totally geared towards Eastern Hemisphere people, so the timing is really good for Australia and Asia and things like that. We also have the graphic novel development program starting soon. The early bird days for that are ending in a couple of days where you can get a little discount and join some early calls. What else do we have here? What else? Oh yeah, donations, donations, donations. Thank you for donating. If you donated to tonight's event or any other donation you've made, it really helps us keep afloat. It helps pay the artists and the instructors, such as tonight, and it helps keep these events free. So we really appreciate it. Um, we want to be a one-way bank like Popeye, but we're not. We'll work on it. Okay, please, if you're sharing at the end, no inappropriate speech or imagery. Keep it PG-13. Share what you do. You can share it on social media with the hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag us at Comics Workshop, and I'll put Andrew's in the chat. And you can also come join us at members.sawcomics.org. We'll keep an eye on the time. We need to end these no later than 90 minutes after the start time. But there's some information which will be in the chat about other places you can share if you want to share. Also, you can join our PDFs that we do at the end of every call, and that we put together on Sundays, and we put it on Seesaw Comics, and you can take a look at all a year's worth at this point of previous PDFs that are kind of pretty fun and kooky. So enjoy. We are here for Scattered Autobio with Andrew Alexander. Look at these great drawings. I'm so excited. I got to figure out how to stop sharing. Andrew, thank you so much for being here, and
Thank
thank
you
you
for having me, truly.
for what, yeah, for whatever you're about to do. Um, can you do me one favor? It
Yes.
it won't work. It never works, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Okay.
Um, raise your Zoom hand, and that's going to be somewhere down below in the tools, and it's probably
Yes.
under React. Yeah, there you go. Now, here's the hard part.
Okay.
Down on the bottom is going to be a little sign in a minute or even less that says it looks like you don't need your hand up anymore. And then, oh,
Yep.
see, mine just came up. Hit cancel. And when
Okay.
and then when you do that, it'll stay up for the rest of the show. But
Okay. Cool.
otherwise, we'll lose track of you later. And I'm gonna spotlight you if you don't mind. So you're gonna get big for everybody.
Yeah, here, let me share my screen
Sure.
and
Welcome. And welcome
thank you so
everybody.
much
And
for
tell us
having me.
where you're coming from, everybody. Oh,
Uh,
look at that.
okay. Slideshow. Can anyone see this?
Not yet. Now we can. Whoa.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for coming, truly. My name is Andrew Alexander. Um, I haven't taught comics in a while. I run a comic publisher now, called CRAM Comics. And so it is exciting to be able to talk about comics and all the stuff that I've made and Autobio comics. But I'm a publisher, I'm a printmaker, I'm a cartoonist, I'm an educator. I run CRAM Comics and I teach a risograph class over at SVA. I live in Brooklyn and I've been making Autobot comics since 2018. Um, and here's the shortest amount about CRAM possible. You could look it up. There's website and Instagram and stuff, but uh, CRAM has not exclusively published Autobio stuff, but it was kind of the starting point. Our first book was called Me and Night by Angela Fanch, which was a 112 page book that I handmade. That's all diary comics that she made. And then we made this book, Froggy World, that's also diary comics, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
comic called Christmas in DC by Stepan Tadic, who is a really fantastic painter who made this amazing Autobio comic. So Yeah, I'm obsessed with Autobio comics and I'm obsessed with how they work. And so
Hmm.
kind of the first thing that always drew me into Autobio comics is like this idea that drawing is language. And a lot of my favorite cartoonists, like Julie Doucet or like Joe Matt, their drawing really informs the autobio, the storytelling that they're operating on, right? Like the drawing becomes prose for them. And I'm using an artist that is also an inspiration of mine named Robert Weaver as an example. Robert Weaver, if you haven't heard the name, he is a illustrator from the 1950s. He did stuff for Times magazines, and this is a drawing that he did of like the Yankees spring training in 1961 or something with like Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio. And it's this really loose drawing, and I just think it's like really beautiful. And here's two more drawings of, someone cutting film and someone working like a spring training game selling snacks.
Same artist? They're
Same
beautiful.
artist. Yep.
Wow. And who, put it in the chat. Who'd you say it was?
Robert Weaver.
Uh-huh.
And here's my work. I started in 2018 and I made this comic. The idea was I was going to make one 4-panel comic every day, and it was a little bit like a diary. And so I was drawing things and I was trying to think about what goes in the image. And it started off pretty rough, and I couldn't quite fill the space right. And after about 10 days, I kind of figured out what needs to go there. And it's you got to draw yourself a ton of times, you know. And so I started drawing myself more and I was keeping notes on, I found a structure for it. And then after I found a structure for it, I kind of expanded into this panelist thing where panels would bleed into panels and I would just fill space with characters and people became gooey and would morph as they needed to morph to, describe whatever they're doing. I took it in this way where I was like looking for stories and I was trying to talk about, familiar stuff. This is like a story I was doing about my dad and like seeing my father. And then, the form's always kind of
Wow.
I'm always like looking for this playful form. And so this is a story I did about Fernando Valenzuela and my mom growing up in LA and like the connection of those two things. There's the 1968 LA walkouts, and in the walkouts was a pitcher named Bobby Castillo, who taught Fernando Valenzuela a pitch and blah blah blah. Anyway, so I was trying to find formatting stuff, and so
Mm.
the whole story takes place in me and my mom on a Zoom call or like a similar to this. So there's like Zoom panels and her walking around the house while talking to me. Um, oops, went the wrong way. But in the end, I ended up running this publisher, and so for the last 3 years, I guess, I've haven't made that many comics. And so this is the last comic that I really focused in on. It's this comic about going to Pittsburgh during COVID, and we went to a state fair and kind of seeing some of the dilapidation in the city and reconciling with that. Changed forms. Here's another comic, but anyway, this is my work, and it kind of got looser as I've trying to get closer to the charcoaly, looser style. So my work's looking more like this now. Um,
Good barfing.
Thank you. It was my second day at this chess teaching job, so it was a big surprise. Um, I wanted to talk about this. I really love autobio comics, and there's lots of different ways to do autobio comics, and I always think of them as kind of like essay writing. And so there's 4 types of essay writing. There's an argumentative essay, right? It's about forming opinions or it's about arguing an opinion based on evidence that you have, and you're really trying to convince someone of something. There's expository essay writing, which is about conveying knowledge in like a subjective and an objective matter. You're trying to just say the facts and give the timeline. There's narrative essay writing, which is to tell a story. It's a very like traditional structure, right, from beginning to end. And then there's descriptive essay writing, which is really just trying to get the feeling of something. And for this workshop, I really want to get into the latter two. I want the piece that we're making to be somewhere leaning towards descriptive writing, right? We're trying to like just get the feeling of something happening. And usually there's not like a clear way of doing it. You can alter things and you can draw what happens, but trying to like connect the feeling of something happening to you through drawing is always like one of the biggest challenges of art making. And so the idea that we're going to operate on, well, first we're gonna do a warm up. So I want to just do a small warm up before we do the exercise. The exercise will probably take up most of the class, right? Is that how this is how this works?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a story after this, but the warm up is just to draw yourself. And I'm gonna call it an avatar. So like draw your avatar. An avatar, right? If you play video games, knows it's like a representation of yourself. You don't need to draw you as you look in the mirror, but you as you think you are. It's an internal self represented on paper. And let's just do for like 5 minutes. Just draw yourself, maybe like something that you like to do or something that you feel like represents you that through objects, through the physical world. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So create your avatar in 5 minutes, create your avatar and draw yourself doing something.
Totally. All
Yep. Cool.
right.
Are you
Thank
gonna,
you.
are we
I
gonna, are we
flip
gonna
on to
watch you
me.
draw too?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. I'll spotlight that when you turn it on, when I find it. Um, let's see.
I think I have to stop sharing, right?
Not well, yeah, probably that's probably best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and let me see. I'll spotlight if I can find you. Lost
Oh,
track.
there I am. Here.
Okay.
Ways
As
with my.
co-host, you can spotlight that one too, but if you don't get to it, I totally don't see it. Uh, uh,
Add spotlight. Okay, there we
there we
go.
go. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll remove you and we'll just watch your drawing right now. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Cool. Okay. You want a timer? I have this Zoom timer which makes funky music at the end.
Okay, yeah, I'm game for that.
Okay, 5 minutes. And that'll be on my screen. People will see it. There we go. Okay. So you said you started Autobio in 2018. Did something lead you to that, or were you doing other
Yeah,
comics before that?
I probably should have said it earlier. My friend Angela Fanch was making autobio comics, and her work really like inspired me to try it. So I was like, I'll do it for a month and see how it goes, and they were the best comics I made to date. So
Oh, wow.
sometimes an experiment works out.
And you still do that, or you said you haven't been super busy lately, but you would still do
Yeah,
that.
I'm still trying to do them, but
Mhm.
it's a little slower than in the past. And they're also a little more boring, a little bit more like I have to print, I have to fold. I need to go to the post office.
Yeah, Margaret Atwood says her publishers are telling her she has to write her autobiography or her memoir, and she said it would just be I woke up, I wrote my book, I went to bed.
I made food. It was okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was okay. I have that Fanch is her name. Fanch. I have that book.
Yeah.
Really great.
Oh, thank you.
I meant to get the other one, the second one you showed, and I can't remember if I got it or not. Um,
Yeah, we're in the works of doing another volume of her autobio stuff, so I'm excited for that.
so we got 3 minutes left. So is publishing a big like money losing deal?
Yeah, it is.
For all you,
When
all
we
you,
succeed, we break even.
right. So for
So,
all you potential publishers out there, there's the reality.
yeah. But it's something I like to do. I'll flip the camera around onto the studio um at some point. But yeah, I'm in my studio where we make all the books and I have my risograph in here.
What model risograph is it?
I have a two drum MZ
Oh
1090.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had three or four risographs over the course of our of a few years at SAW, and they started breaking down so much that we just spent so much time fighting them that we eventually just gave them away.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like yeah, I never recommend anyone getting them because I'm like,
I
that you love machining things, you know.
don't. Do you get into that?
Yeah, I fix it. There's better forums now than I think there were like even 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh,
So everyone kind of like knows how to fix it better. But like older ones are harder because parts are not Rizzo, the company. So you gotta like find broken machines and take those apart.
yeah. Ours were older ones. Although we had a something P that was newish. Not newish. I mean, it was if it was 10 years old, it was like we got a new one.
Sure. Yeah. This
Uh,
one only has 200,000 prints on it.
yeah, right. Yeah. MP? Oh, yeah, I can't remember. And weirdly, the GRs were the most stable ones.
Yeah, they're like always work and they're always around, but they're, scanning off the glass is not ideal.
Oh, yeah. All right. It's been Risograph shop talk for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
No. And the timer has 30 seconds, so you're going to hear that funky music in a minute.
There's something that happens when someone talks about paper, or like I could talk about paper for hours, just brands of paper and the price of paper.
Which is going to go up, I'm sure, everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there was a brand for a while we really liked with a tiger on it, tiger paper. I can't
Oh,
remember.
Cougar.
Cougar, that was it. Yeah, that was a really nice brand.
That's my brand.
Oh, all right.
It's the one. If anyone needs to know good paper brands, Cougar's the one. Wow.
Red carpet.
Wow, I like that. All right. And this camera here is
Oh, look at that. Okay, great. Wow, I love just how like ill proportioned it is. It's wonderfully like cartoony, you know?
all right.
It's just so like
There's mine.
so
Here, I'll switch cameras, I think, right?
yeah, I can spotlight you there.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to back to sharing screen. All right. So everyone drew themselves, and now we're gonna get into the exercise. On the right is a comic that I drew. As a comic I drew recently. It was just like, another attempt at being like, I'm gonna draw Autobio comics. And in fact, I'll just kind of read it really quick. My mind has been Swiss cheese, soup, smooth, whatever you want to call it. It's me folding books, listening to ambient music, and there's paper everywhere around me. Stress from CRAM has put holes in my memory to the point where some vivid dreams need to be separated consciously. Wait, that's tonight? Oh, of course, I'm on my way. And I'm putting my jacket on. 5 years ago, while writing about my alcoholism, I would keep track of everything: dates, people, events, everything. You're late. Hello. Sorry, I'm Andrew. Nice to meet you. Now it just seems I don't care. I do care, I swear. We've met. Totally, of course. I remember your name, I bet. Yeah. So that's my short little comic. But we're gonna do 4 panel comic in a similar way, right? We're gonna just divide a square right down the middle. You can just do like a big plus sign.
Okay.
That's the best thing. And the exercise is to do a little bit of Mad Libs. I think it's good to, on like a separate sheet of paper, to do a little plus sign, and then we're gonna write like one sentence on each of square on the plus sign, and the first square will be the problem, and the problem is, my biggest problem with my morning routine is, and you'll fill in the blank on that one. So we can do that really quick for like a
Okay.
minute. Yeah, a minute or two.
I'm writing all this down in the chat right now. So each of these, what we see here is a panel in a four-panel
Mhm.
comic. Problem, explanation, dream, remembering, right?
Yeah, and a sentence is a nice way to like focus in on what will be inside the panel. So one sentence answer.
Um, do you want to run down all the
Sure.
instructions now or do it one panel at a time? Either way is fine. I just
Here, I'll run through all of them and then we can go through it. The second
okay.
one is the explanation. So explain the reason the problem happens or the solution you know you need to do, but you just can't make happen. So whatever will solve your morning routine. The third panel is going to be a dream, the most vivid dream that you had this week. Out of context and all, I dreamt that you fill in the blank. And then the fourth panel is remembering. You explain how you felt about the dream after waking up, right?
Wow.
And so
Okay.
we're gonna do we'll write the first panel and we'll just go in order and write them all down. The idea is to make a story where things aren't necessarily connected coherently. They're just next to each other.
So are we drawing it or just writing?
Just write a sentence. Yeah, let's write a sentence and then we'll go into drawing because I have an example that I already filled out and I'll show you
Okay.
the
So
example.
I've got that in the chat. So if you want to go away from sharing and you need to, that's fine. But otherwise, you can keep it up. It's up to you. So, but we're gonna take 1 minute and do panel one. Write down
Yep.
panel one.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yeah. Let's do panel one for a minute and
All right.
then
So my biggest problem, Gail asks, can it be a daydream? Jackie says, what if I can't remember a dream? Can I make something up?
you can make something up. It can be a daydream. It can be whatever the most obsessive, vivid thought you have, you know, that thing that itches in the back of your head.
Oh, interesting. So anyway, we're on panel one. You want the timer?
Uh let's do the timer and I think panel two now, right? Like there's probably been enough time for panel one.
Yeah, I've been in the chat, so I didn't do it yet. So I better get move.
So let's do panel two.
And again, we're just writing first.
Yeah, just write. Just
Okay.
like one sentence. You can keep crossing off and focusing on what it needs to be.
I don't think I'm gonna get to the timer, so you're gonna have to.
I'll keep time. I can do
Okay.
it. All right. And if you've done the explanation, the third one is a dream.
Okay.
Most vivid dream that you had. It doesn't even have to be last week. It could be anyone that you remember, whatever dream pops first into your head. And then the last one, if you finish the dream and if you're still working on the dream, that's totally fine. Is remembering, explaining how you felt about the dream after waking up. And very important that you're explaining about the dream, how it connects back to your life.
Very important. Say that again.
Very important that you're explaining how you felt about the dream as it connects back to your waking life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't need to literally explain how it connects back, but well, okay, let's do like one more minute. Does that sound good?
Yeah. I write my dreams down a lot, and I'm looking at a dream from yesterday. I have zero memory of it, even though I wrote it down.
Really? Do you wake up and write things?
Yeah, I usually say it into my phone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I used to write them down, but
Text to speech. It's a blessing.
right.
All right, I see a good amount of eyes still down.
Huh,
Let's do like 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds. How are we doing?
sure. Yeah, something like that. I guess with this one, I have to go with I don't know how I felt about this dream.
It could literally just be whatever happened later on in the day, you know?
Yeah,
Because if you forget it, that's feeling something, right? Forgetting is
I'm just writing. Always something is not right.
that's a good resolution.
Right.
All right. So we wrote down we wrote down a problem, an explanation, a dream, and a remembering. And here's mine. So
Okay.
here's my example. My biggest problem with my morning routine is it takes me 2 hours to get out of bed. I never sleep on time and I end up pacing around my apartment as my girlfriend snoozes softly nearby. I had this dream where I lived in this tiny angular apartment with 5 people and my collection of books piled along every wall of every room, blocking every exit, and the entry staircase of the building went straight into the kitchen of our home. The dream is so vivid and nagging. I know exactly what block the apartment should be located on, and I
Hmm.
look for it, hoping to see it every time the train passes the block.
Whoa. And do you see the apartment?
I still dream about this place.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. It's just like it's this New York apartment that has like sand outside of it. Anyway, this is what I even blocked off some text on my last 2 panels. So this long run-on sentence, right? I'm not gonna write all that. I'm gonna draw each room blocking the exit and the staircase going to the kitchen, and I'm not
Mm.
gonna right. I know exactly what block the apartment's located on. I'm just gonna like make it a text balloon. But having the sentence is nice because now I know what goes in each panel. Maybe the sentence is just on top of the panel, right? It's just like narrating what happens inside the body. Maybe you don't want to put it in, but now you have somewhere to operate from. And
Right.
so now we're going to draw the comic, right? We're going to use each of these sentences to kind of fill in the image that go within this comic, but this will be your narrative that will carry this 4 panel comic along.
Cool. And you're gonna draw from this text on your
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, cool. Let's
And should I leave this one up or should I leave the other one up? Which is better?
I think we should watch you draw.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
Because I've got what's on this slide I've got in the chat.
okay, cool.
And
I will stop sharing and I will go to the next panel so I can see. Can you see right here?
here, I'll make your
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Okay.
You drawing with a dip pen?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I have a dip pen, I have a micron, but I think I'm faster with a dip pen now.
Wow, really?
I sand the tip of it so it's pretty like fat. Like it draws pretty thick.
That sound. I mean, wow, I love that sound. So, um, should we do some timing, like maybe 5 minutes a panel or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think yeah, maybe 5 minutes a panel
I'll put
if
a
if
I'll put
that's
a
enough
timer
time.
on for that. And if
Okay,
people, if people want to work at a slightly different pace, that's okay. But that'll keep those of us who want to do 5 minutes a panel on track.
totally.
Um, so yeah, sorry, people are asking questions in the chat, but we got them.
Yeah, here, let me look at the chat.
People are talking about dreams a lot. I dream about paintings and how to paint them.
Really?
Drives me nuts until I get them painted out. Wow, that's nice. I wish I did
That's
that.
beautiful.
All right, timer.
Yeah, either one on the same page or a new page.
And let me get those prompts up if anyone forgot them or missed them. Okay. Does Paniotti, is that his name, still work at in the risograph at
Yeah,
SVA?
yeah. Paniotis.
Paniotis,
Yeah, he's still there.
to your boss?
Yes. I used to be a tech. I was a tech
Oh,
there for 6 years,
oh,
and
wow.
now I'm just a teacher. So he's my boss, but in less of a capacity.
Colleague boss. This morning in my morning routine, I was just utterly confounded by what these sounds were in
Yeah.
my apartment or my house. But what they were my toaster oven and my coffee machine, both of which I started. Like, but I was so sleepy. I was like, what are these sounds? So that's what I'm drawing, or at least that's what I'm writing about.
The problems we make for ourselves.
It's like weird ticking. It's the toaster oven. Act like I never heard it before. It's like the telltale heart. You take Did you make it over to the art show that Bill Carlopoulos set up with Aiden Koch and some of the others? I forget.
Yeah, I made it over yesterday. I was doing something with society and I got to see it and gorgeous. Like
Um,
the Olivia Shrowen pages and
oh yeah.
Lale Westman, John Hankowitz.
Oh right, that was the fourth one.
Yeah.
So which festivals will CRAM be at? We'll go to TCAF and
Yeah,
Cake.
we're doing TCAF. I just did Pi in Pittsburgh, which was a really fantastic show.
Oh, hmm.
That was last weekend, yeah. But yeah, I'll be at TCAF. I'm doing MCAF, which is a Montreal show. Um, yeah, there's some other big ones coming up, but I'll do SPX and a lot of the staple ones, big
Will you go
ones.
to LA?
To LA.
Yeah.
There's never a show that I get in LA. I tried to do Cala before, but they don't let me in.
Oh, what?
But I'm from LA, so I beg and I plead and I'm like, I want to see my niece. And they don't care. No, I'll get into LA one day.
Oh, a star at Mocha, but you can't get in LA. They're just fancy there.
It's different over there.
Oh, that's panel one.
I don't, yeah.
For those of you who need that, and I'll put it on for panel two.
Is the nib sound like really audible?
Um, Tiny bit. It was before for some reason.
Okay.
It, yeah, it's one of my favorite sounds. I used to teach workshops with kids sometimes, teenagers and stuff, and
Yeah.
kind of kind of the days before phones, and I'd bring like 50 nib pens and ink, sometimes into like a library or something. And be like, please don't drop it. And but the sound of like, first of all, the fact that it would go silent after a little while was amazing, and then the sound of all these scraping pens was just magic.
Yeah. There's something really nice about it. Oops.
I don't think I could duplicate that today. Maybe I could. No one had phones then, or kids didn't anyway. You have some favorite autobiographical cartoonists?
Yeah, I think probably Julie Doucet is probably
Yeah, my
like a
God.
real North Star for me. Her work is real good, real magical.
Yeah, I agree. I got the French edition of Time Zone J.
Oh yeah.
It's totally different. I mean, it's an accordion book,
Yeah.
and it's got a different title, but like, um, but the English edition, when you look at it, you're like, these look like these pages are connected. They don't even, they don't even tell you this. I don't know. And then seeing it
I
as an accordion book was amazing.
I feel like they should say like this book is intended to be an accordion review format. Like they
Yeah.
should say something, but it's true they don't really say anything. But also just an amazing book, even the English edition.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, she just keeps like, I don't know, creating the form over and over again, recreating it, just doing completely new things with it.
Yeah.
All of Julie. Oh, timer. Oh. All right, I'll do another 5 minutes for panel three. The people that are keeping up. Let's see. Oops. Oh, shoot. Let me do it. What kind of nib was that before you chiseled it off?
It's a Hunt 22.
Oh, uh-huh.
It still is. It's just like I sand it with like light sandpaper, so it just doesn't draw fine at all. It's like a blunt object a little bit,
Oh,
and it lets you draw in all directions without
oh,
catching
nice.
paper,
Uh-huh.
which I like.
That was the benefit of some of those manga pens that are really sturdy, is that you can
Totally.
push them in any direction.
No, as CRAM, we went to Angoulême this year for the first time, and
Oh, you did?
yeah, it was amazing. And in Paris, just all the art stores had like the cheapest art supplies and the best quality stuff, and that was
Cheap and good high quality?
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
it made me remember that all the good New York art stores have closed.
Oh my God. I remember when New York Central closed, but what else?
I mean, I
Well,
think there's only Blick.
Pearl's closed.
Yep. There's really just Blick and Artist Brooklyn Artists and Craftsmen.
Oh,
Those are the two.
is Utrecht still around? Which is owned by Blick, I know, but
Yeah, I just got 8 by Blick and that's
yeah.
it.
Okay. I'm declaring Julie Doucet the GOAT in the chat. So it's official.
Official. Chat knows ball.
Wait, I just realized that that book was first in French. I wonder who lettered it in English.
He maybe just did, no?
I don't know. My friend Rich Tomaso lettered her diaries in English, which
Oh,
was
whoa.
like a 3-year project.
Sure.
And I'm sure that was a huge money loser too, but man, it was a cool object. But oh wait, we're on panel 3. Shit, I should stop talking. What was your first Julie Doucet comic?
I think it was my New York Diary. I think it was a library
Oh.
copy.
Oh.
I was talking to someone the other day and I was talking about how like got a Kim Deitch comic because it was like Boulevard of Broken Dreams was a library. There's just a library copy of it when I was young.
A great one too. Mine was Dirty Plot 4, but it might have been 3. I just couldn't get over how many different types of fantasy were in that comic. Like different imagination stories.
Dirty Plot with monthly, right?
No, my God, no. I mean, there were only what, I don't know, 8 or 9 or maybe 10 or something of them. So I mean, it was probably yeah. Uh, at best, it was probably quarterly, but it probably didn't come out quarterly.
See if I can finish panel three really quick.
This would be a great, actually, perfect Julie Doucet ending is, if I remember right, is for why I have this crazy dream. It's a, trying to remember what one that is. It might be the one of the ones where she goes to space and her, her I know we're supposed to keep this PG-13. I think this counts. Um, and her mother in the dream, Julie's about to go off to space. She's on the land on the dock. Her mother gives her a box of cookies and says, "Remember, these are for masturbation purposes only." And there's this just big question mark. Oh my God, fault. I think that's the one where she says, "For why I have this crazy dream," but maybe not. No four.
I'm realizing that the third panel may be the slowest one because drawing a dream takes a little bit of describing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's that scritching noise. We had our risograph, and the one machine we did have that could print from a file could only
Yeah,
print could only print from like Windows NT or something. So we had one computer dedicated to interface.
yeah. I,
Okay.
I have a Windows computer, and very recently, like a month ago or 2 months ago, it just stopped working. And I think my computer updated, and like the Rizzo driver doesn't support newer computers. And so I have to like find a downgraded computer to run my risograph. It's silly.
Okay, there's 15 seconds left on this fourth panel for people who are playing by the rules.
Falling behind it. So
I think we should give everybody a couple more minutes because we want to see you work on that fourth panel a little. 5 minute grace period.
do it.
All right. And then we'll take a look and see what people came up with. I should 'Just checking the chat. Jackie knew the comic I was talking about, the one about the cookies. I talked about it anyway. But one person in the chat had to take off early, but said, my avatar was a groundhog. The
Hell
problem
yeah.
was I always mess up my first cup of coffee, grinds exploding from the espresso machine. I dreamt that I no longer needed sleep and I could secretly make comics all night long for 8 hours.
Whoa. It both sounds like a dream and a nightmare.
All
Monkey paw. A
right,
perfect world.
we got 40 seconds. We'll see what some people came up with in a minute.
You probably hear this scratching
Oh, not now.
now.
All right.
Think I'm done. See.
Yeah, let's see.
Here, I'll flip over to the other camera. It'll be
Okay.
easier.
All right, I'll spotlight
I
that one.
think.
I love, I mean, it looks great from afar.
See.
I love people who can draw directly in ink. Oh, look at that. Just wild.
Some good moments and some sloppier moments, but that's kind of par for the course.
Great depiction of the girlfriend snoozing just under the cloud of lines, you know. Oh, look at that apartment.
The last panel, I really wanna draw a whole city and a train on top of it, but
Oh, wow. So it's like, oh, so the train passes by it on the elevated tracks and you're like,
yeah,
there
yeah,
it
like
is.
on an elevated track.
Amazing. Of course, right? Oh, super cool.
That is mine.
Nice job. Um, so should we take a look? I'll ask people if they want to share what they did. We've got a little bit of time. Raise
Totally.
your Zoom hand in the same way that Andrew and I have our Zoom hands raised, and we'll take a look. I'm sure somebody's ready. Ah, there we go. Walter's ready, and some other people. Eli's coming up. All right. So I'll ask you to unmute, and then I'll spotlight you. And oh, there's some people. All right. So we'll start with Walter and go to Eli and Nikki. Here we go. Hey, Walter.
Hello, this was fun. Oh wow, the sun is, let me do this, hold on.
Stand.
Yeah, too much sun in the Pacific Northwest. Uh,
Totally.
so there it is. My biggest, oh, by the way, that's me curling. I'll probably go do that
Ooh.
tonight. Um, my biggest problem with my morning routine is that it no longer happens every day. I'm retired and I had a nice 3 hour routine every morning, but I've taken a hobby job. So I just need to adjust to having a different schedule on different days, but I just feel betwixt and between. Taking my shower before breakfast just feels weird. I sleep deep and easy, and I never dream that I recall. And I still wake up before the alarm, ready to start my routine.
Beautiful.
That's me.
I like it.
Wonderful.
It was nice to use it as a reflection. I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Walter. All right, we'll go to Eli next. I like that.
I I just had a crazy dream this morning. Where are we at? My biggest problem with my morning routine is that I don't use an alarm and not everything runs on my natural sleep schedule.
Mhm.
But I should set an alarm, but I hate that. Oh, why it's out of focus. I hate that heart attack feeling, adrenaline feeling that lasts all day from waking up to an alarm, no matter how soft or quiet the sound. I always forget I don't have brown hair anymore, but anyway, I'm gray now.
It's an
Um,
avatar. It's you.
Probably would be easier to draw too. I dreamed that let's see, I can't even read, my hand's so small. That I suddenly dropped into the life of a A-list celebrity. And I looked down at myself and I was wearing this amazing dress and I was leaning into this drag queen who was also getting her photos taken by all the paparazzi. And it felt so real. And I was trying not to fall on my high heels. And I looked down and I was like, am I Ariana Grande? And I think I was. Just for a second there, I popped into her life. And the dream felt so real that I had to tell my husband about it right away. And as I was telling it to him, like all dreams, I just felt the realness kind of drain away. And then I was in these high heels. It was so real. Not impressed.
That's wonderful.
Thanks. That was a really great prompt. Got me going.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah. I'm glad to hear.
Thanks. We'll go to Nikki next. Hi, Nikki.
It's so fun. Yeah, this was great. So my panel one, the biggest problem with my morning routine is there's no time allocated to paint. And my cat is going, aren't you supposed to be upskilling right now? Sorry for the poor quality. It's my what's this called? Laptop.
That's okay.
The second one, it frustrates me, is by the time it's done, I have either no energy left to paint, or too much sensory overload, or overwhelmed to paint, or 3 other things intruding on my day. And I'm going, 10:30 a.m. back in bed, yet another day of not painting, but the cat's fast asleep, so the cat's happy. And then panel 3 says, I dreamt, this is actually true too, I dreamt that I was painting with Andrew Tischler, lots of colour and brightness, mostly lots of vibrant colours. He had, for some reason, a red shirt. And so in the background, we've got the New Zealand mountains, which he paints a lot, and Tish and me. For some reason, I had to have a halo on my head. I'm not sure why, because I'm not quite deceased yet. But for some reason, I had a halo on my head, and there were lots of other people there. So maybe I'm on one of his tours or something. I don't know. When I woke up, I felt so weird. Why would I randomly dream about that? Maybe as there was a live coming up, and thinking about that had sunk into my subconscious. No idea. And I've got, well, that was weird. So that was kind of cool. I am actually being mentored by Andrew. So it's odd to dream about that, but it's not odd, I guess, in the scheme of things. And that I am frustrated because I just can't keep the painting time in.
So sometimes you dream of exactly what you want to be doing when you're awake.
Yeah, I think so.
Wonderful.
Nice.
I've just
Thanks,
got to
Nikki.
knuckle down and do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure thing. All right, we'll go to Jackie next.
I kind of wish that I had done these the other way around, and I could have gone full circle like Walter. My biggest problem with morning routine is my self-imposed technology checklist. And there's me going like, okay, first I have to do my Wordle, then Sporkle, then then check my social. That's long gone. Trying to steal the show. And then 2 dots, then Boggle, and then the reason this happens is that it's so much more interesting than my morning meditation routine, aka a fantasy. Like, because I'm like, oh, this is what I should be doing every morning, and there I'm not. Like, get me, I'm so evolved. I'm not drinking coffee, I'm drinking like mushroom tea or something. And then I dreamt that I already had the drink, and I'm like, but it doesn't count because as a relapse because it's only one, right? Oh shoot. And then when I wake up though, I felt slick. Hey, it's like I got away with something, I didn't have to I got to drink without having to reset my sober state.
Wow.
So that's kind of a niche
That's
dream
wonderful.
sense of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
A few people might get that, but that it's always like, oh, it's a recurring dream I have, and I'm like, no, that's.
I dream of smoking cigarettes again. I still just want one, but later.
Yeah, I get those too, cigarettes, because I used to smoke. But yeah, very, very cool, very fun. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thanks, Jackie. Okay, we go to Kate next.
Okay, here's my avatar. And then The biggest problem with my morning routine is that I lose track of time doing things I love. So there's coffee, there's drawing, and there's like getting ideas down, like thinking about
Yeah.
getting ideas down. And then the solution is to stop going to work and just do what I want all day. What time even is it? Is the sun setting now? Wow. Ah, I should eat something maybe. Uh, I dreamed I was in prison and I was cleaning a men's bathroom. I overheard that Brandon Scher was sentenced for an old DUI and would arrive soon. So here I am, and part of the dream was that I was refusing to clean a particular shower stall because it was too gross. When I woke up, I felt relieved that I'm not in prison and never have been. You know, no matter how charming you are, sometimes you have to face consequences, even handsome white cis men. And so that was something I was thinking about after the dream. Brandon Scher is just someone in my community who's kind of an upstanding citizen, and yeah, nothing bad ever happens. So yeah,
Well,
it was a
well,
funny
well,
dream.
I also hope he goes to jail. So that's good.
He doesn't deserve to go to jail.
I'm
He's
kidding. I'm kidding.
He'll get his. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
This was a great series of prompts. I really love it.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll go to Judith next. Here we go.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
I'm glad the time changed. It's 2 o'clock in the morning again. So this is my avatar, and I said I'm still trucking, still alive,
Hell yeah.
and that I feel very good about. And here we go. Let me see. Why can't I see this myself? If I say, how come I can't see myself if I say it's on speaker? Oh, well. So the problem with my morning routine is that I stay up all night. She's saying, I worked all night again. I'm a lifelong insomniac, and my morning routine is to go to bed. And then I had dreamt, this is true, I'm moving Sunday morning, and I dreamed that my chair was in the apartment, and it looked beautiful, and that I felt at home already.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
the dream was, I dreamed my new apartment feels really like home. Moving day is very nervous. And I'm both excited and terrified. And then the last part says, oh, look, so annoying, I can't see this. It says, looking forward to the new life and my new studio. And there we go.
Beautiful.
So,
I like that your dream was in color too.
well, have to have that.
Cool. Thanks, Judith.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Bonnie next, then Sarah, Alice, Elias, a couple more. Let's see if Bonnie's ready.
Sure.
Hi.
Did I unmute? Yes. Okay. Um, so my problem is what to eat. I'm just not hungry, but I must eat because I have to take medicine. And so every morning I stare at my refrigerator, unhappy with what I find in it.
Mhm.
And that's because I dream about eating delicious, healthy, vegan, like smoothies that I never will actually make myself, except on special days. And I don't ever remember my dreams. So that's why I chose actual dream, like a daydream, I guess.
Nice.
And then then I settle usually for half a bagel with cream cheese and some veggies. How did I end it? Oh, which I eat eventually. It usually ends up being more lunch. And that's just my little dog who was in 3 of the panels. But she's awake in the morning when I wake up. My other dog is still asleep with his teddy bear. So
Huh. That's wonderful.
I love the words inside the refrigerator. That was super cool.
well, drawing it all, I didn't have time. So
Thanks,
thank
Bonnie.
you. It's been really fun.
All right, thanks. We'll go to Sarah next. Here we go.
Here we are. I'm unmuted, right?
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. Because I don't know, can you read that? Anyway, so I thought it was just a prompt, like a little suggestion. So I didn't start with my morning routine, but I started with a problem, which was I can't hang things up on hangers. So it just says, what's so hard about hanging things up? This comic is called Ship Shape. And the answer is because the distance between Exhibit A, the pile of clothes, Exhibit B, the hanger, and Exhibit C, my brain, the distance is way too fast. Okay, that's why. So I can't will myself to do that. I have a dream that I'm on a friendlier version of the Titanic, which is tipped, listing over. And I wake up, when I wake up from the dream, I'm happy to have seen people from the land of the dead. So this is the ship that tilts between the land of the living and the land of the dead. I was happy to see them, but I can't will myself to feel that way again. The end.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Really amazing.
That's my avatar.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. The ship that tilts between the living and the dead. What a cool image. All right, we'll go to Alice next. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Are you there? Can you unmute Alice?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So here's my avatar. Oops, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm holding a book because that's what I usually am holding. And here's my morning. Oh, is it something weird with the light here? Can you?
Get closer, we might be able to see. Or, yeah,
I
it's
think let me.
kind of washed out.
Oh, there we go.
Good there.
Okay, there I am. And my biggest problem in the morning is I want to do a lot of things. I want to draw, write, and pray and exercise, and all before 8:30 when I have to start my job.
Oops.
And then I had a dream. It was a really weird dream. I was carrying a baby Joey to the morgue, and I had to go through my old high school. I have no idea why. And then I felt at the end like I'd been through like some kind of important ritual type thing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Carrying a baby Joey through your old high school. Whoa.
I have no idea why, but that's what happened.
Awesome, Alice. Thanks.
Thank you, Alice.
Okay, we'll go to Elias next.
Okay, thank you for the prompt, Andrew.
Yeah, of course.
See if I can get might have the same problem as Alice. See if I can get my lighting right. My biggest problem with my morning routine is lack of coffee. I have to get up so early, there's no time to make it. So if I don't plan ahead, my little tumbler is empty. I dreamt that somebody killed someone, and I looked the other way, kept my mouth shut. And there I'm doing the little Three Monkeys routine. What the hell was that?
That's funny.
Thanks.
Love that. Thanks. Thanks, Elias. Okay, we'll go to Teresa. Here we go.
Okay. Let me see. Can y'all see that all right? Let me see.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with my morning routine is that I'm a night person. Is it my circadian rhythm? I always thought that was circadian because I grew up on the Mississippi River. I'm sorry, let me move. There's an icon in the middle, so that's what I'm doing. I dreamt that the crows surrounded me, but I wasn't creeped out, of course. And I woke up so happy because that meant that the crows remembered and that they would be back. And then there's a crow on me right there.
That's great.
Well, that was fun. Thank you. Good prompts.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Teresa. We'll go to Jason next. We'll see if Jason's Hey, Jason. Can you unmute?
Had to put the guitar down.
What's that? Look, you're muted again. Hang on, let's try and get you unmuted.
How's that work?
Good.
Good.
Do you need to share your screen? I know some.
Yes.
All right, hold on.
if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Get you off of looking at yourself. Okay, go back to over there. This was me doing something that I like to do. I spent most of the time on this drawing, which is ridiculous. But I have trouble with bodies in motion. Usually. Anybody else play disc golf? Excuse me. So, like Walter, I hardly ever dream. Like, I didn't dream for 15 years. So when you asked about a dream you had the other night or whatnot, there's only one time in the past 20 years, actually twice in the past 20 years that I had dreams, and there were 3 nights in a row. My biggest problem with mornings is the alarm clock keeps going off. And I know I set it for 6:45 or 6 sometimes. And I'm waking up at like noon, 1 o'clock p.m. And I'm thinking it's still morning, and it's not. It's not morning at all. And the reason why, an explanation is because when I go in for chemotherapy treatments, they put me out with this Benadryl pre-med, pre-chemo med that goes right into my chest port, right into this thing right here, just a medical device they installed in my chest. That puts me out immediately. Benadryl will knock me out anyway, but straight into your bloodstream. Wow. I wake up like I'm a heavy brick that's hard to pick up, and my sleep pattern is off by 6 hours immediately. So it always throws me off. Takes me a long time to rebalance. And then the dream that I had once in, after 15 years of not dreaming, was about this beautiful woman who was totally in love with me back in the 80s. And it was just bizarre to have 3 nights in a row dream about her. Wow. Almost the same. And then 5 years later of no dreaming, 1, 2, 3 again, which is absolutely weird. And how did it make me feel? Absolutely messed up, because she's been my ex-wife for a long time. And she's remarried and has a daughter besides our son. And the way it ended between us was just, I don't know why I would still be dreaming about her at all, But finally what I did was, I just brought it up with her. I didn't the first time, but I did the second time because I didn't want it to happen a third time. And that kind of made it so that I could dream again. Like, after I brought it up and she responded totally cordial, we talked about it. And then the next night and like for a month long straight, I had very crazy, violent dreams about being in a gang war in LA on the beach, like trying to find weapons caches, trying to protect my people, trying to make sure the kids are okay. My place is locked up, and then boom, I get stabbed twice and I wake up.
She freed you. She let you dream again.
She did. I think it was, I put a block in there. Like, I was trying to figure out what's going on with her. And she's not a good communicator back then. And then 15 years later, she started doing meditation, like Jackie was talking about, through this Zen center here in Santa Cruz. And she became an amazing communicator. I mean, like, she's just mind-blowing communicator. She runs conferences and stuff now. But I think because her communication channels opened up, that thing I had stuck for so long, like, just let go. Like, opened the floodgates. It was bizarre. But that stab wounds that I woke up with turned out to be gas anyway. So that's my story.
Jason, thanks so much.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay, thanks for having us.
Sure. And we have Nancy next. This is a reminder, everybody. I'll put ways to share in the chat. We'd love to see these again, either in social media or in the PDFs. We'll go to Nancy. Here we go.
Did I stop sharing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. The most challenging thing for me is how to read backwards on these things. So here's the first 2 panels, and it says, I'll try to read it from my phone. I think I'll just switch it around. So the first panel says, my biggest problem is that I never organize my tax documents. This results in several months of anxiety every spring. That's the first panel.
That's so cool.
The second panel says, I know many people who throw all their tax-related paperwork in one large envelope throughout the year. And then this woman's all smug saying, so that it's all in one place. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm such a loser. Then my dream is, the most vivid dream I have is that I'm traveling, often internationally, and there's some kind of obstacle or stressor involved. So I'm running through the airport saying, I need to make this connection in Cairo in order to catch my flight home, but I don't know the flight number. It's that Cairo thing's been going on for years.
Mhm.
And then the last panel is after I wake up after this dream, I feel a vague gnawing sense of uneasiness, not unlike the feeling I have in regular life, especially since January 20th. So there you go.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Made
Nancy.
me- It was very therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Great.
Cool. We'll go to Vale or Vale if they're there. Let's see. Maybe we'll go to Mel before we go to Vale. Mel, come to you first.
Okay, I just did mine in sketchy pencils. Hopefully there's enough light to see. This is my avatar, gripping my pencil for dear life.
Huh.
And the biggest problem, let's see, the biggest problem in my morning routine is actually getting out of bed early enough to do some proper stretching. That's me trying to do some yoga. Because I actually like to lay in bed once I'm awake to remember my dreams. And there's me trying to consciously remember what I've just woken from. And I didn't mean to link them up, but I actually do that in the morning. My most vivid dream, I dreamt that I pulled at a little thread in my thigh, but like a loose thread on a shirt, it got larger and larger, unraveling my leg. This is actually a rough draft. I'm gonna jump ahead. I dreamed I found a tiny thread on my thigh and tried to pull it off, but it got longer as if attached to a spool in my leg.
Oh.
And I didn't think much about the imagery until a couple of days later when I literally pulled my hamstring.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
I don't know why I did both my rough draft and my slightly less rough draft, both in pencil, but there you have it.
That's wonderful and very cyclical, right? It starts with your stretching.
Yeah, which I should have done more of.
All right. Thanks, Mel. Let's see if Vale / Ballet is ready. Excuse me. And then we'll go to Mishka. You got, let's see. Are you ready there? They're not appearing. I'll remove the spotlight. All right. Oh, we lost them. We'll go to Mishka really fast. Mishka, are you ready?
Am
Then we'll
I? I'm in the middle of writing a word.
Do we have to skip you too?
You can come back.
All right, we'll go to Kai, then Edgar.
Okay, let's see.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's mine. I didn't put any words on it. But I've got the words separate from the other exercise.
Totally.
And so my biggest problem with my morning routine is tripping over my cats. And the reason for that is that my cats want attention all the time. And then I kind of changed the dream a little bit. But I dreamed of a big maze of cats. And then at the end, one of the cats comes and gets in my lap.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. They're great drawings. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Edgar next, and we'll got a couple more, Andrew.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Andrew, for your inspiration tonight. I have a widespread little drawing here, and I'll show it to you now. I called it, based on the original warm-up exercise, Edgar creates his avatar tonight. Here I am at Saw Friday Night Comics. My prompt is to create my avatar. My first take makes me look a little bit like Doonesbury by Gary Trudeau, whom I met at the Jane Haslam Gallery in 1971, along with Gloria Steinem, who wrote a foreword to one of his book collections. She was very nice to me. She was wearing a beautiful black pantsuit. And if I'd been drunk, I was in uniform. And if I'd been drunk, I would have asked her out. But don't add the punchline. Yeah, and if she'd been drunk, she would have accepted. But anyway, that's not, she was very nice to me. But sometimes I wake from a dream in the morning, and if I'm thinking, I will record my dream. This past Sunday, I dreamed about my sixth grade homeroom teacher, Mrs. Jandorf. But we were in a college course, and I was studying a list of prices paid for selling back your textbooks. But that dream led to a veterans event at actor Gregory Peck's house and featured a malfunctioning wine machine. Edgar, I'm Gregory Peck. We're having trouble dispensing the wine tonight. William Shatner was there also, but I didn't really get a chance to speak with either of them. I would have asked Gregory Peck about his role in 12 O'Clock High, which my Squadron Officer School flight watched in 1981 to study different types of leadership. I have a lot of strange dreams. Why did I dream about Mrs. Jandorf? And why did that lead to attending a party at Gregory Peck's home? I didn't tell you that he was in a wheelchair, which I watched being hoisted onto the second floor. Am I afraid of my own death? Am I frustrated that not all my dreams may be realized before I too am raised to the second floor? And here are the other people at the party. Yes, sometimes as you see the weird arrangements of the gutters between the panels, yes, sometimes life seems like a jigsaw puzzle as I attempt to understand the meaning of life. But as Monty Python observed during the life of Brian, always look on the bright side of life. So thank you very much.
Thank you so
I
much,
hope you
Edgar.
can make sense out of it all.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
An epic, Edgar. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that, Tom, very much.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go to Tanner, then Vali, then Mishka. All right, here we go.
Hello, everyone. Here's my little avatar, and there I'm drawing at a drawing table. And I thought it was just like come up with a problem in general, not a problem with your routine. So I just thought my problem is making comics. And it's like, you just got to do it. That's what that one says. Just do it. And then the dream one. I had a dream that a giant praying mantis attacked me. And it took a chunk out of my leg. I didn't draw that part for you guys. It's a little, but it was very disturbing dream when I woke up. And that's my comics.
Thank you so much, Tanner. Do you look at praying mantises differently now?
I don't ever want to see a praying mantis ever, ever, ever.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanner. All right.
Thank you.
We'll see if Vale is ready. I think it's Vale. Might be Vale.
Hi.
Hi, are you there?
Yeah.
How do you want to show your work? Can you come on screen to show us?
Yeah.
There you go.
Hi. It's been a while.
Hi, what'd you do?
Just just waiting to like get my comic in.
Can we see your comic?
Yeah, it was actually a very easy assignment. I think I switched the camera. But you see it?
Yeah.
So I've been drawing comics like a lot lately, and I kind of find it easy to do the assignment. That's my avatar. That is my avatar. This is based on usually how I see myself in comics. It's not too, not too, it's not too much. Just very simple. I, I, drawing a lot is part of my special interest, so I just add something that I always have a habit of. like when I'm not drawing, I pretend I draw with my left hand, and sometimes with my right hand, I tap my fingers in.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what? So what I had. So what I struggle with morning routine, occasionally on weekdays is not is not knowing what should I wear. And and sometimes, despite having too much clothes that I own in a bedroom, I keep losing shirts everywhere under my drawers, on the floor, and some of my closet. I have no idea where the good shirts are, but usually I hid them too much underneath of everything else. And okay, this is not the recent dream I had, but this is one of the weirdest dreams I had, which is about tubs. And about tubs, having large bathtubs like everywhere in the indoor bathhouse. I haven't been to a bathtub for years. And this is my last song. This is based on what I feel because I want to have my own tub someday because unfortunately the house I live in don't doesn't function with tubs and only functions with showers.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
great.
Maybe if I move out. Thanks.
I love your avatar.
Problem. No problem.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. I love the drawing in the air, wasn't that great? All right, we'll finish up with Mishka, who I think probably wants to share.
Um, I could also just show you on my iPad if it's a problem.
You can share.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. So my problem with my morning is that I'm often so late to catch my work shuttle that I jump the lights through quite busy intersections. Um, and that's my kid saying morning and me saying hi bye. I have to leave now. I'll miss my bus. I definitely know that I should be more careful and considerate to my colleagues. And I won't be any use to family, friends, or colleagues if I get hit while trying to catch that last bus. In a recent dream, I was helping my friend prepare for a big party at her new home. Was it built where she used to live? Did they save the art from their old home? Was the fire still raging? In my dream, nothing mattered, and she and her family were happy. I woke up so hopeful, I wrote to her to tell her my good news. Today will be better.
Lovely.
Really? Did you tell her?
I did tell her. I couldn't remember a dream this week, so I checked my messages for the word dream. That was the only one that came up.
Was she happy with that?
She was happy to hear that. She hasn't rebuilt, she just lost the house a couple months ago. So
Oh, and was that in LA, a person in LA?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's awful.
Yeah. So I had a dream that like I was back there and I was like, wow, this is crazy. How did you rebuild so fast?
Oh,
How are you
wow.
so calm? I'm still really traumatized by your fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mishka.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have trigger warning for LA people. Sorry. guys.
Thanks a lot. Andrew, thank you so much. My God, that was great.
Thank you,
Man.
everyone, for sharing. All
Yeah,
the
thank
dreams were
you.
wonderful.
Hold up a couple cram books so we know what to look for, and I'll put it in the chat to where to get them.
Here's the big gamble. Wow.
Nice. All risographed?
All risographed inside. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Here's an older frame, so I'm grabbing things within reach. This is a cover that I did for an older cram.
Oh yeah, I have that one.
Yeah. It's got color and pages and yeah. If you see me at a show, feel free to say hi. Come by and say hi. Ali Erico's work.
Who's that?
Ali Erico, who did
Oh
Frog
yeah.
World. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. That's the one who did the frog comic. Frog.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much. This was really super fun. Great. You heard a lot of people say like great prompts. I really appreciate I think that something about that slightly unconnected but still connected sort of system of panels was really fun for people, and everyone liked
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I like always trying to jump around because I think you don't really understand what happens in your life, and sometimes it's good to stick around anyway.
Yeah, don't try. Yeah, don't try and understand it. Just make connections happen. All right, I'm
Just
gonna
get
ask
it down.
everybody to unmute and give you a round of applause. We really appreciate you showing up and coming here.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Thank you.
Come back next week, everybody, for everyone.
Thank
Awesome
you.
Andrew, thanks so much.
What?
Thanks, everybody. Have a good
You.
night.
It's amazing.
Afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. That was so fun to see everybody's stuff.
Thank you.
Share on social media, everybody. Have a good night. See you
Thank you
later.
so much.
Thank you.
Happy creating.
Happy
Right
creating.
on, dude.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Just send some
Yeah,
stuff your
bye,
way.
everybody. Here we go.
Thank you.